Welcome back to Engine Craft, and with it being fall, it's just that time of the year. I'm going to be getting a lot of snow blowers to be fixed. I'm going to try to sprinkle some other stuff that I'm working on in between them, but I want to do a video on each one that I do. Hopefully, if this goes out to some people and they see it, or they have the exact same snowblower and they have issues with it, hopefully this video can help them. So that's why, even though it's the same repetitive thing, I still like to put videos on each piece of equipment that I get, just in case there's somebody out there that has this piece of equipment that can't get it figured out or wants to get it running, and hopefully that can help them. So today I have a Toro CCR3650 6.5 horse with a Rotec engine. I know absolutely nothing about this thing. It was just dropped off saying it doesn't run and needs a tune-up. So the first thing I want to do is, we'll go around it and see what's going on with it. This is a 2-stroke. This primer bulb is broken. It's fairly dirty, but I guess the first thing I want to do is, it's missing one screw down there, so pop this other screw off, maybe try to get this out. Well, that was easy. And then this primer bulb needs to be replaced. Oh, there's another screw there. So we can get those off, try to slide this cover back, see if we have access to anything, and then from there just try to assess what's going on. We're definitely going to have to get this bottom cover off to access the carburetor. If this is the choke's connected to the carburetor, so that's what we're going to start with. So let's try to get these two covers off and start from there. And like I was saying before, if this video, it's not everybody's cup of tea, this keep seeing snow blowers being worked on. But if this video even just helps one person, I'll be happy with that. Because I can't tell you how many times I went to go look up information on a snowblower, and there's snowblowers that are very similar, but not exactly the same. So that's why with every single piece of equipment, I try to do what I can to put it on the channel. At least try to. All right, this one is super, super rusted, so let's get some PB Blaster on there. It's not the same screw. That one was a hex head. This one is a Phillips. So hopefully a little PB on there. Really don't want to strip it because there's no other way to get that out. So we'll turn to the hammer screwdriver. That feels like that fits really good. So we're going to go like this. We're going to apply some torque to it and kind of just smack it a few times. There we go. It broke free. Highly recommend getting one of these. What it does is, when you have this on here, this has a spring in here. So when you're applying tension down, you hit this, and with every turn, this turns ever so slightly so it doesn't cam out. These are really helpful for bolts like this. All right, so we got that off. This should come free, which it does. It's just covered by another cover. So I don't really know how much we can do with this bolster being here too. All right, we'll just leave it at that for right now. Smell this fuel. It smells like varnish. All right, I'm gonna have to take this off to be able to get to... See, the problem with a lot of these snowblowers is to get these top covers off, you have to take this whole auger off, and it's a pain, but, you know, gotta do what you gotta do. I don't think there's any access to the spark plug at all either. All right. So a good tip is, if you guys have plastic sandwich bags and you're working on a lot of stuff, I don't have any in here right now, but the plastic sandwich bag, you write on it what it is, and then you put all of your fasteners in there, which would be the smart thing to do, but I don't have any right now. Oh, and if you guys haven't already, and you enjoy my content, don't forget to subscribe and like and comment. It helps the algorithm. So it helps my videos be seen, and with every subscriber, it only helps my content. Well, helps me create better content is what I should have said. All right. One. The problem with taking this auger off as well is these bolts are super rusty. Also, there's usually a rubber ring in here, and if you take that off, usually it just turns to dust. So I'm going to try to avoid that if I can. There we go. Get that washer. On a good note, the augers look brand new, or the paddles. So that's nice. All right. And just as I suspected, all the bolts are in the way. And you can't get a screwdriver in there. Oh man, these are just smoked. Just put a little pizzazz on them. There we go. Oh, that feels lovely. What are you? Not the one I was looking for. You either. Oh, what about you? What are you saying? There we go. That one broke free. Thankfully. Let's see if I can get this bolt out. If I get in here, I'll show you guys that rubber gasket I'm talking about. See, the thing with snowblowers is since they're explicitly exposed, or not explicitly, but exclusively exposed to water all of the time, they tend to have very rusty bits. Oh, that's actually a metal auger. I thought it was going to be plastic. So let's hope this doesn't turn to dust. Oh, and it didn't. So what I'm talking about here, guys, is this here. Usually this gets rusty. Not rusty, I'm sorry. it gets crusty and usually turns to dust. This one's actually not bad, surprisingly. So here it is. That's all there is to it. These gears here feel awful, so I'm going to put some grease on them. I'll work it in a few times. This is just some Lucas heavy duty grease. Nothing special. The thing is some grease is better than no grease. Work it in really good. There we go. I'm going to shoot a little PB down these channels just to get that all loosened up. Let's try it now. Not exactly buttery smooth, but it is much better. Let's get some lube down here. Good. All right, let's see if we got spark. So I picked up one of these testers. I don't know how well it's going to work, but we're going to see. So what you do is you plug your lead in there, and then you ground this out to one of the fins or wherever you see a ground. And let's see if I can get you guys as close as possible to see this. I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to see it. Put the key in the on position, otherwise it will not spark. Well, how did you get like this? There we go. Sorry, hitting you guys. There we go. See anything? I see a little bit of something. Obviously not the best spark tester, but just wanted to give it a try. So if you guys were thinking about getting one of these, it's decent, but if there's any light, it's kind of hard to see. I mean, you can just turn off the light, but it appears we have spark. Some sort of spark. Let's turn this off, pull this out. Get some PB blaster in this keyhole as well. That's soak. All right, now let's try to get this plug out. And then we're just gonna squirt some fuel down there and see if it comes to life. If it does, it's probably the carburetor. What are you saying? Oh yeah, 2-stroke spark plug. Carboned up. Overall, not too bad. We can clean that plug up pretty good. All right, so I just hit this with the wire wheel or wire brush really quick. Clean it up a bit. I don't know what the spark plug gap is supposed to be on here, but this looks all right. Looks a little close, but it's probably just about its spec. This is an NGKR, so this is a good plug. So we're going to take some 2-stroke fuel. This is 20-to-1. It's because I was working on something that needed it. So get that plug back in. And get it real tight in. There we go. Where's that boot? There you are. On. Give her a little pull. Oh yeah, she'll run. All right, it is most definitely the carburetor. Just by looking in there, it's feel a little grimy. That's all right. Let's get this bottom cover off. See if we can get in there, get access to that carburetor. So I got this flipped up with a little wooden block holding it. Hopefully that stays holding it. And we're going to, looks like it's just 2 screws here. So well, get it off there. Yep, there's 1. There's 2. Cover is off. All right, so fuel filter definitely needs to be replaced. This is a strange carb. We're gonna get it off of here. Need a big screwdriver. There we go. As many of you probably know, snowblowers do not use air filters because the conditions they run in do not typically have particles in the air. Assuming this tank is probably very dry. So that's a good thing. All right, the gasket came off with it. Don't really know why there's a gasket. It doesn't make sense to have one since there's this big hole here. But irregardless, all right, what am I looking for? All right. Try to crack this free. This whole carburetor is plastic. So being gentle. All right, that spring connects to, looks like a throttle here. This is the, this crazy, this is all plastic. I don't even know if I can put it in ultrasonic, but I'm gonna try. That's connected. This is the hose for the primer. We're going to try to gently get off here without destroying it. Problem with the plastic carburetors is if you mess one thing up, new carburetor. So trying to avoid that. There we go. All right, now we just got to get this throttle rod out. Zip. Zip. There we go. Carbs out, let's get it on the bench, crack into it. I apologize for the mess on my bench, but I have a lot of things going on right now. Fall is typically very busy. Just with everybody trying to either get snowblowers done, or for some reason a lot of people like to get their machines fixed right before they store them for winter. So it's always kind of interesting. All right, this bolt looks to be completely rusted. I'm going to have to grab a small pair of vice grips to try to get that one off. Wow, that fuel smells awful. Why did I do that? Don't know where my mini vice grips are, so let's try this. And it's free. Not very hard. I mean, I can't imagine you'd want to tighten this stuff down very hard considering it's plastic. So let's get these screws out. One. Come on. 2, 3, and 4. Let's go. Oof. It doesn't look awful in here, but it doesn't look great either. The needle and seat look okay. The weird thing is I can't tell if this is plastic or a metal float. If it's a metal float, that would be even weirder. Let's get this pin out. This thing is like, I don't know. It's just like deeply pitted here. Something ate away at it. I'm gonna have to put this in the ultrasonic with everything else and see if it floats. This might just be a really bad float. Look at that pickup screen. Huh. That's interesting. So this is the seat and this is the main jet. We're going to try to get those out. Hopefully they come out with ease because I don't want to break any of this stuff. I need a bigger screwdriver for that one. There's our main. And emulsion tube? Okay. Here's our seat. Here's our gasket. All right, everything looks to be disassembled. I am going to go get the ultrasonic running. The jets are still brass. It looks okay. This is really concerning. You can just, I mean, the pitting in here is so strange. Kind of feels like wood. In fact, I think it is wood. See the... This is wood. I'd be blown away. That would be in utter disbelief. I mean, it's got... See if you can cut the shine off of it. It's got like, that's so strange. You can hear it. Sounds like wood. Oh, if that's wood, that's so weird. Either way, we're gonna go see if it floats. As strange as that is. So let's go get these jets into the ultrasonic and this car body. I mean, I thought I've seen it all, and I've worked on a whole lot of snowblowers, a lot of machines in general, and I've never seen that. So it's very, very interesting. The needle looks good. The rubber tip still looks good. So let's get this stuff in there and get it cleaned up. Okay, so while that is in the ultrasonic and getting cleaned, there's a couple things we can address over here. The primer bulb, as well as replacing the fuel filter. I prefer these kinds because you can visibly see they're dirty. Also, these ones, I don't know if you can see it in there, but it's got a magnet on it. So if any kind of weird debris goes through there, you could, that magnet will stop it from going into your carburetor. They're especially good for older machines that have metal tanks, but they're the same price as the regular filters, so I just buy them. Oh. They're the same price as the regular filters, so I just buy them all like that because why not? Well, I didn't want to do that, but it is what it is. So let's see if I can. All right, we got our new fuel filter. Let's get this back onto the fuel tank. Get that secured down. Come on. There we go. Get this in here. Push. There we go. Only bad part about these filters is how big they are. I do have smaller filters, but they're not for this size line, whereas these ones are. So we're gonna use it. There we are. Next item we have to address is that bulb. So this is a work light. I've had it for a couple years and it's worked fine. I just touched it and it died and now it won't come back on. So don't buy this brand. I'm going to go to Harbor Freight and buy a similar light because I really like these because they're magnetic. And they can move like this. And it's got a light here at the end that you can see out of as well. So wonderful. All right, so let's pop this out. Shouldn't be too difficult. Let's first see if we can break that line free. Try. Well, that one's very old. Won't get out of there. Plastic tab broke off. That's why it doesn't want to come out. There we go. It's out. Here's the new one, very similar. Like I said, here's those little tabs. It should have just pushed out, but one of them broke off and decided it didn't want to. Oh, well. Let's just pop this new one in. And of course the new one's too big. So let's look at this. Little bit of a difference here. Could this still work? Their answer is no, it will not work. It's too big. So I'm gonna have to order some. I don't think I have any this small. All right, so as I had mentioned before, we need a new primer bulb. This is typically how they are, and this is the one that was on there and it has a hook. This is actually specific to this snowblower, unfortunately. So I had to order them because when I put in the part number or the model number for this snowblower, these specifically came up. But if you look for any other ones, 90% of the time they're gonna look like that. So, gotta wait on those. This is, in fact, a wood float. It's strange, but it is. So, I got the carb all blown out. There is one jet that I forgot to take out. I did not see it. Let me just dry this bowl out. Looks good in there. There's no drain on this, surprisingly. And then, so on here, I was looking around and yeah, there's a jet right here on the side. I did not see. So we're gonna try to get that out right now, just to make sure it's clear. And we'll put her back in. So that is the pilot. And pilot looks good. So screw the pilot jet back in. Now while we're waiting on the correct primer bulb to come, we can still get it all buttoned up and see if it starts right up. This isn't the only snowblower. I gotta get another one too. That is a 4-stroke Toro Power Clear. I've done a video on a Power Clear before, but this is a different model of Power Clear, so you'll be seeing that video in the future as well. All right, so the seat is in. Let's get the main jet in. And I didn't even notice that. But this main jet, it looks like you got your main jet here, but there's also another one right on the inside there. I don't know if that fully comes out or if that's just, let's see if we can get it out though. Yeah, so we can get it out. Interesting. Is that clear? Yeah, we can see through that. You guys see through it? There you go. And then this one. Huh. Never seen a jet inside of a jet. But then again, I've not seen every carburetor out there. And this has no make on it whatsoever. I have no idea who this is made by. So let's get that on there. And again, I don't want to go crazy on tightening this because everything is plastic. Get that wiped out. All right, let's get our wooden float back on. Still mind is boggled by that. That just slides on like that. And then put that inside of here. We get our pin. Start it. Slide our pin through. All right. Time to get our gasket on. Put our gasket on like so. Float bowl. And our screws. And a really crusty, rusty one. All right, I'm gonna over tighten them. Like I said, plastic. Just until snug. And I hope it doesn't leak. Yeah, see, that screw's just turning. So I'm going to do something I don't typically do. And put some RTV on this gasket. So let's take this off. Let's wipe this surface down. I'm going to put it on this surface as well as on the opposite side. Make sure we get a really nice, good seal. So this is Permatex Right Stuff. It's a very expensive can, but it will last you a very long time, and you can put it back to service in 1 minute. That's why it's so good. Now you can buy this in smaller sizes, but I like the can because you can do this. All right, that should be more than enough. We're just going to go on here and do very, very lightly. All right, and we're going to put this down. And then we're going to do the same thing. The same thing to this side. Clean our mating surface off. Just put a few dabs on here. We're just trying to get a very, very light coat on it. We're not trying to go heavy. All right, that should be more than enough. Those screws would tighten down. I wouldn't be too worried about it, but since they're not, very, very light, like I said. All right, that should be good enough. Set this on here. Get our screws back in. All right. So I want to grab a tube and just see if this float is working properly. This one should suffice. Put this on here. It's upright. When I blow through it, it should allow air through it, which it does. And then when I hold it upside down, we should get nothing, which it doesn't allow air through. So we're good. All right, so I'm gonna get back over to the machine and we're gonna get this back on. Get as much as we can buttoned up until that primer bulb comes. We can probably start it. Just have to wait until that comes to finish it. All right, so the way this was hooked up was first we need to get our throttle on, like so. Where was it? Had to have been like this. No, couldn't have been like that. Like that. And then spring attached here. Boo, boo, boo. All right, so that gasket looks all right. Going to put our screws back in. Like so. Our primer tube. And then screw this back on. That should be tight enough. Get our fuel line hooked back up, which I can probably take a little bit off of it now. I'll just leave it. I shall just leave it. All right, so that's all hooked back up. So let's get some fuel in this, and I might have to plug off that primer bulb here, or I can just hook up probably just hook up one that doesn't fit, like this. Just, you know, as a temporary, to see if it'll work. All right, let's get this down and get some fuel in it. Get a little 50 to 1 in there. That's what this calls for. Should be more than enough. Fuel filter does have fuel in it. Let's hit the choke, hit the primer bulb a few times. There we go. Air pull. It is not pulling fuel. Wow. This thing is a smoke machine. Yeah, so she's not pulling fuel. I don't know why. Turn that choke back on. It is blowing out some oil. I wonder if this thing just hasn't ran in a really long time. So there's no like air fuel mixture on here, and there's no throttle. So I don't know. So I think it just needed to be ran for a while. I think there was a bunch of crap in it, and it just needed to clear out, from what I could tell. Let's try it again. That's right back up, no problem. So let's start buttoning some stuff up. I could probably get the bottom plate on. Actually, you guys see me take it off. You probably don't need to see me put it back on, so I'll button up some stuff and then we'll come back and put that primer bulb in and we should be good to go. All right, so let's put our primer bulb in, which seems like it's like a Toro specific primer bulb. Let's get this key out of here. Slide you back. I have to get some pliers to hold this. We should just clip in just like so. Plug the line in. And I think we should have everything back together. There we go. All right, everything should be good to run. I'm gonna point this out the door because it's gonna be smoky. All right, let's turn the choke on. Give it a few pumps of the primer bulb and give it a pull. Thank you guys for watching another episode of Engine Craft. Another snowblower, but hopefully this helps at least one person if they got issues with the same snowblower. So I appreciate you guys watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so I can continue putting out content for people to watch and hopefully content that helps people. So until next week,